Look up. The night sky dances with color. Ribbons of green light twist and shimmer. Ribbons of purple light twist and shimmer. This is the aurora, a spectacle of solar winds meeting our atmosphere. Look out to sea. A colossal wall of water rises from a calm ocean. A rogue wave forms without warning, its immense power a terrifying sight to behold. Look down. Strange glows emanate from the ground, just before an earthquake shakes the land. These are not scenes from a fantasy tale. They are real phenomena, witnessed by people all over the globe, yet they hover just beyond the full grasp of our understanding. What secrets does our own planet still keep from us, hiding in plain sight? We are invited to explore, to question, to marvel at the mysteries that Earth presents. The world is a tapestry woven with threads of the known and the unknown. For every process we can explain, the turning of the tides, the formation of a rainbow, there is another that remains shrouded in mystery. These unexplained events are not failures of science, but rather its greatest invitations. High above the anvil-shaped tops of powerful thunderstorms, a secret light show unfolds in the blink of an eye. For centuries, pilots reported fleeting flashes of red and blue light far above the storm clouds, but their accounts were often dismissed as illusions or tall tales. With the advent of high-speed cameras, however, we have confirmed their existence. These phenomena are known as transient luminous events. They include sprites and blue jets. Sprites are vast, jellyfish-like bursts of red light that can stretch for 50 kilometers, occurring tens of kilometers above a storm. Blue jets are cones of blue light that shoot upward from the top of a thundercloud, reaching toward the edge of space. They are magnificent, yet incredibly brief, lasting only milliseconds. The leading scientific idea is that these events are a form of high-altitude electrical discharge, a cousin to the familiar lightning that strikes the ground. They seem to be connected to powerful, positive lightning strikes that transfer immense charge from the cloud to the Earth. This sudden change in the electrical field may trigger a spectacular discharge in the thin air of the upper atmosphere. However, the exact mechanisms are still debated. How is the energy focused so precisely? Why do they take on such specific and intricate shapes? These are not just visual curiosities. They represent a massive transfer of energy between different layers of our atmosphere, a process that we are only just beginning to map and understand. In the remote Gulf of Carpentaria in northern Australia, the dawn can bring a truly strange sight: the morning glory cloud. This is not just any cloud. It is a long, perfectly tubular roll cloud that can stretch for 1,000 kilometers, often appearing in a series of up to 10 parallel rolls. These clouds travel at speeds of up to 60 kilometers per hour, moving like a wave across the sky. Glider pilots famously surf the rising air on the leading edge of this atmospheric wave, riding it for hundreds of kilometers in a breathtaking display of human and natural harmony. The mystery of the morning glory lies in its remarkable consistency and formation. Scientists believe it is a type of solitary wave, or soliton, that forms when specific atmospheric conditions align. A leading hypothesis involves the collision of sea breezes from opposite sides of the Cape York Peninsula, which creates a wave that then travels westward over the Gulf. This wave is further shaped by a temperature inversion layer at night, where cool air is trapped beneath warmer air. While this model explains some aspects, it doesn't fully account for why this phenomenon is so rare elsewhere in the world, or predict its appearance with perfect accuracy. The morning glory remains a beautiful, rolling enigma. From Australia's dawn waves of cloud, we turn to night, toward lights that haunt a Norwegian valley and glows that precede the trembling ground. In a quiet, remote valley in central Norway lies a place of enduring mystery, Hessdalen. Since at least the 1940s, residents have reported strange, unexplained lights in the sky. These are not simple points of light. They appear in a variety of forms: brilliant white orbs, yellow orbs, orbs that can hang motionless for over an hour before silently vanishing. Flashing red lights that dart through the valley at incredible speeds. Elongated, pulsing beams of energy. The phenomenon became so frequent in the early 1980s that it attracted international scientific attention, leading to the establishment of Project Hess-Dalen, an ongoing research initiative. A permanent automated observatory was installed in the valley. Cameras, spectrometers, magnetometers to capture data. Several hypotheses have been proposed to explain the Hess-Dalen lights. One theory, piezoelectricity caused by quartz-rich rock under tectonic stress. Another idea, plasma or ionized gas, formed by solar wind interacting with the local magnetic field, and airborne dust particles containing rare elements like scandium. Some lights have mundane explanations, car headlights, aircraft, but many remain truly unexplained, a captivating scientific puzzle. The ground itself can produce its own strange light show. For centuries, people have reported mysterious lights before, during, or after major earthquakes. These are called earthquake lights, EQL, short-lived flashes, steady glows, floating orbs rising from the ground near a fault line. Credible sightings were reported after the 2009 L'Aquila earthquake in Italy, and after the 2017 Mexico City earthquake. The lights appear in different colors and shapes. The leading theory, intense stress deep in the crust before seismic rupture. Pressure on certain rocks, like basalt or gabbro, can break apart pairs of negatively charged oxygen atoms. Those freed charges surge upward to the surface. They ionize pockets of air, causing them to glow. This positive hole theory is plausible, but it's incredibly difficult to test and verify under controlled conditions. How and where these charges are generated and released remains an active area of seismological research. From whispers in the crust to roars on the water, where waves defy statistics and objects slip beneath the sea faster than reason can follow. For centuries, sailors returned from the sea with harrowing tales, holes in the ocean walls of water that rose from nowhere, capable of swallowing a ship whole. These stories were largely dismissed by scientists and naval architects as maritime myths. Waves, according to prevailing mathematical models, followed a predictable distribution of heights. A truly monstrous wave was considered statistically impossible. Then, on January 1st, 1995, a laser sensor on the Draupner oil platform in the North Sea recorded a single, massive wave. It measured 26 meters, more than twice the surrounding waves. This was the first undeniable scientific proof that rogue waves are real. Since Draupner, satellite data, other measurements have shown extreme waves are far more common than imagined. The question is now how they form so suddenly. One hypothesis, linear constructive interference. Several smaller waves align their crests and combine into one giant wave. Another, non-linear focusing energy is drawn from surrounding waves into a single unstable monster that grows, then collapses. Understanding these mechanisms is critical for safer ship and offshore design. The ocean's mysteries aren't just on the surface. Below the waves, in crushing dark depths, lies a world less explored than the moon. Here, reports of unidentified submersible objects, USOs, arise, performing maneuvers impossible for any known submarine. Reports often come from credible military sources, submarine sonar operators, naval pilots who saw objects move from air into sea without slowing. The 2004 U.S. Navy Nimitz incident is a famous example. Naval aviators reported encountering a tic-tac-shaped object. It descended from tens of thousands of feet to just above the ocean in seconds, then vanished. Sonar operators on a nearby submarine reportedly detected a similar fast object underwater soon after. Scientific explanations are scarce and speculative. Some suggest advanced secret military drones, others point to rare atmospheric or oceanic plasma phenomena that fool radar and perception. The deep ocean hides its secrets, and without more data, these sightings remain unexplained. From hidden depths to a storied patch of sea and sky, the Bermuda Triangle, and to Earth's wandering compass that guides us all. Few places on Earth are as steeped in legend and mystery as the Bermuda Triangle, a loosely defined area in the western North Atlantic Ocean. The lore is filled with dramatic stories, ships, aircraft vanishing without a trace, often in seemingly calm conditions. Compasses are said to spin wildly, and electronic equipment fails without reason. Famous cases, like the disappearance of Flight 19. In 1945, a squadron of 5 United States Navy bombers that vanished during a training exercise have fueled decades of speculation about paranormal activity, alien abductions, unknown physical forces at work. The narrative is compelling a dark patch on the map where the rules of our world seem to break down. However, when scientists and investigators scrutinize these incidents, a more mundane picture often emerges. Many of the reported disappearances occurred during violent storms or can be attributed to human error, mechanical failure. The United States Coast Guard and other maritime authorities do not recognize the Bermuda Triangle as a specific area of hazard. They point out that the region sees a very high volume of air and sea traffic, and that the number of incidents is not statistically significant compared to other parts of the ocean, with crucial details omitted or invented to make the tale more mysterious. Despite the debunking of much of the legend, the region does have some unusual natural characteristics that could contribute to navigational problems. One is its proximity to an agonic line, a place where true north and magnetic north align, which can confuse those relying on a simple magnetic compass without proper knowledge. More dramatic is the ocean flatulence hypothesis, which suggests that sudden eruptions of methane gas, trapped as hydrates on the seafloor, could erupt, catastrophically reducing the density of the water. A ship caught in such a bubble-filled patch of sea would lose buoyancy and sink rapidly. While plausible, there is no direct evidence linking a specific disappearance to a methane eruption. A related global mystery is the behavior of Earth's magnetic field itself. Our planet acts like a giant bar magnet with a north and south pole. This magnetic field protects us from harmful solar radiation and is the basis for compass navigation. However, this field is not static. The magnetic North Pole is currently drifting away from the Canadian Arctic and toward Siberia, moving nearly 55 kilometers per year. This rapid shift forces authorities to update navigation models more frequently than ever before, affecting everything from smartphone compasses, military aviation, commercial aviation. Imagine hearing a persistent, low-frequency humming or rumbling sound, a noise that no one else around you seems to notice. For a small but significant percentage of the world's population, this is a daily reality. This phenomenon is known as the hum, and it has been reported in various locations across the globe: Taos, New Mexico Bristol, England Bondi, Australia. Those who hear it, often called hearers or hummers, describe it as a sound similar to a distant diesel engine idling. It is often more noticeable indoors and at night. It can cause significant distress, leading to sleep deprivation, headaches, and anxiety. Sleep deprivation, headaches, anxiety. The mystery of the hum is twofold. What is its source? And why can only some people hear it? Investigations have been launched in several communities where the hum is prevalent, but they have largely failed to pinpoint a single, definitive origin. Researchers have explored numerous possibilities: high-pressure gas lines, power plants, communication towers. In some cases, a specific mechanical source has been identified and mitigated. In many others, the sound persists even after local machinery has been ruled out. The search for the source is a frustrating process, as the sound is at the very edge of human hearing. Another category of scientific hypotheses looks to natural causes: microseisms, tiny continuous vibrations of the Earth generated by the pounding of ocean waves on continental shelves. Ocean waves pounding a rocky shore, seismograph station reading under certain geological and atmospheric conditions. These vibrations could be amplified and become audible to sensitive individuals. Another theory suggests autoacoustic emissions, where the ear itself generates a sound perceived as external. Audiologist testing patient. This might explain why the sound seems to follow some people and why others cannot hear it, but it doesn't fully account for geographical clustering of reports. For now, the hum remains a deeply personal and isolating mystery for those who experience it. It sits at the intersection of physics, geology, and human biology. Is it a real, external acoustic phenomenon most of us are simply deaf to? Or an internal physiological or neurological event? The puzzle is that both could be true in different cases. Without a reliable way to record and measure the hum correlated with hearers' experiences, it remains a phantom sound, a global auditory enigma that science has yet to solve. The more we listen, the more questions emerge, preparing us for a final reflection on discovery itself. We have journeyed from the ephemeral flashes of sprites in the ionosphere to the phantom rumble of the hum heard in quiet towns. We have seen clouds that roll like ocean waves, lights that dance in remote valleys, waves that rise like mountains from the sea. These 9 mysteries and countless others serve as a powerful and humbling reminder. Our planet is a place of profound complexity and wonder. For all that we have learned, for all the laws of physics we have defined, and the maps we have drawn, Earth continues to hold its secrets close. It challenges us, surprises us, and reminds us that the age of discovery is far from over. The pursuit of answers to these puzzles is what drives science forward. Each unexplained phenomenon is a frontier. Researchers today are using an incredible array of tools that were unimaginable just a few generations ago. High-speed cameras capture events that last for a fraction of a second. Satellites scan the entire globe, monitoring ocean surfaces' magnetic fields with exquisite precision. Sensitive seismometers listen to the deepest murmurs of our planet's crust. And powerful supercomputers model complex systems, allowing scientists to test hypotheses that could never be recreated in a laboratory. With each new piece of data, the fog of mystery begins to lift, sometimes revealing a familiar process in a new guise, and other times hinting at entirely new science. We should not be discouraged by what we do not know. Instead, we should be energized by it. The existence of these mysteries is a gift, an invitation to remain curious and to keep looking more closely at the world around us. The story of science is one of moving from ignorance to understanding, one question at a time. The tales of earthquake lights, rogue waves are no different from the ancient questions about why the sun rises or what causes the seasons. They are simply the questions of our time, waiting for a new generation of observers, thinkers, and explorers to tackle them. The Earth is not a static stage for human activity. It is a dynamic, living system, full of processes that are subtle, rare, or simply beyond the current limits of our perception. To listen and to measure, we will undoubtedly solve some of these enduring puzzles. But in doing so, we will almost certainly uncover new ones, even more profound and intriguing than those that came before. The quest for knowledge is an endless journey, and our own planet is the most magnificent and mysterious landscape through which we can travel. The most important thing is to never stop asking questions. What other wonders does our world hold, waiting just beyond the edge of our understanding?